Welcome and thank you for joining us for our final series or our final topic on our BNI Core Value Series. As you can see, I'm joined by my co-host, Andy Cruz. Andy, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. This series has been very fun for me. Thank you for letting me share so many different experiences and knowledge around BNI and these core values with members and the listeners. And I'm really excited to wrap up the series with today, which is recognition. And I cannot wait to talk about a few select things that have to do with recognition that some people might not know about.
Ooh, well, then let's dive right on in. Take it away, my friend.
Well, let's first go over what is our BNI core value for recognition. So as read, it is, we appreciate that recognition fuels the growth of successful organizations. The person who masters the art of recognition attracts success that leads to meaning and happiness.
Recognition.
Yes.
Recognition is one of those things, maybe it's a two-edged sword, right? We say that we don't want to be in the spotlight. We don't, that's something we don't like. But yet I think internally, we all want to be recognized. We all want people to know, or rather, I like to look at it this way. Recognition is really about telling someone, I see you.
That's right.
I see the impact that you've had, and I appreciate you.
Yes. Yes. And I think that is so important. The whole core value statement is that, the appreciation of recognition is what drives success, because people want to win. They want to win together. And when you are recognized for your efforts that actually at the end of the line achieve an outcome that helps the team win, the company win, your family win, your chapter win, people love that. And part of that is what you're saying is it's being seen in the moment, whether it's big things or little things. And I'm willing to bet that the things that are the most meaningful organizationally, and this is my perspective here, is the things that are not the awards, and it's not this stuff over here. It's not these awards and all this other stuff. It's not that. It's the little things you do that most people don't see. It's the little micro movements, the micro changes. It's the things that we do and develop over the course of time with such great frequency that deserve the real recognition. Because out of the accumulation of all those things come this amazing result, or come this outcome that you've been hoping for, this benefit you've been wanting to get, this value you've been hoping to retrieve and have for yourself, acquire for yourself. And it's recognizing that those lesser things in people that maybe no one else even saw. That I think carries a lot more value than getting the plaque and getting the award.
Yeah, right. And as you said, it's the little things. It's just there's so many thoughts in my head right now on this word of recognition, because there's so many different ways to recognize people. Obviously, there's the big hoopla we just talked about, but they're just a handwritten note saying thank you.
Yes.
You know what? Hey, I was thinking of you today. It again, going back to what we talked about just a couple seconds ago, it's just that recognition that I see you, Andy, and I just wanted to say thank you.
And especially when maybe when you're doing something that you don't care if other people see or not, but then someone goes, hey, I saw that and I'm really impressed by that, or I'm very proud of you for doing that, or congratulations on this or that. Because I think there comes some humility and some humbleness with that. I've heard that like the true definition of excellence is not without a heavy dose of humility alongside it. And, because if you are just excellent and then you're braggadocious about it, then are you really excellent? But if you're excellent and you have a heavy dose of humility with it, your excellence can actually enhance and continue growing. It can foster even more. Because the excellence begets more excellence, because it's not based on ego and it's not based on recognition. But to the point of recognizing little things that people do or changes that really matter, even I've just noticed that when those things have been done and they are not done with the intent to be noticed, they matter a whole heck of a lot. And then when that person finds out that it actually was noticed and it's appreciated, you know what? That behavior gets locked in, and that behavior continues and perpetuates to generate results and positivity for everyone that they're around.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? if I don't know if this is the right term, it exudes a physical reaction.
Yes.
When you recognize someone, particularly if they're not even aware of it, you literally can see a physical change in their demeanor, how they look. I mean, it's really, really powerful.
And I want to make a pit stop right there, because there's like a visceral response that the body has, and the soul and the mind and the heart have to those things. And I think that sometimes we are uncomfortable with that. Ooh. I think that sometimes we are uncomfortable with receiving recognition. You mean
giving that or
no?
What side of that?
I think people broadly hesitate to want to be recognized. And without getting too deep into this topic, I would suggest that we interview ourselves and go, why is it that I would not want to be recognized for my efforts? Is it because I don't think I'm valuable enough? Or is it because I don't think that what I did is important enough? Or what I'm working on has no value at all or any meaning moving forward and is of no greater purpose other than just to check the box? I think that on the flip side of that, we love giving recognition. How many times do you want to pour over recognition for your spouse, your kids, your fellow BNI members when you're giving a testimonial, your coworkers when they do something great? We want to give recognition. We have a really hard time receiving it. But I will argue that I think that in order to be able to give great recognition and regular recognition is being able to accept it first.
Whoa. Wow. That's a whole different aspect, right? Yeah. Because when typically when we're talking about recognition, it's about the giving of recognition.
Right. So so let's go back up the core values ladder and we're talking about giver's gain. So in order to be a good, a humble recipient, I need to be a humble giver. You know, how many times have I given to someone in their time of need or done something for somebody that I really did not want anyone else to have to see or know about? But then in my time of need, someone came to us and gave or helped or supported in a certain way. I had to be a humble recipient of that thing because I was a humble giver first. And so when it comes to recognition, I think that giving real recognition comes with being able to receive real recognition too. And if we're uncomfortable with receiving real recognition, then there's something there. Then we have to be reminded of our value, our importance to our chapter, to ourselves, to our family, to our company, to our friends and our social circles, and allow yourself to be recognized. And I'm saying this because I'm bad at this and I'm working on it. So this is not, doctoral dissertation Andy talking about this. This is Andy trying to still figure all that out, talking about this. I have to allow recognition where recognition is being honored upon me, and then I will be better at honoring other people because I have been honored myself.
Oh, that was powerful right there. And one of the things that you said in that is real recognition, right? If you're doing it just to puff somebody up, or I've heard people say, you know what, my ass this week or whatnot, I'm trying to up my game on Yelp or Google reviews. Can you go do me a favor and just give a Google review or a Yelp? If you've used them, that's real recognition.
That's right.
If you've not used them and you're just giving them what's the real recognition there?
Yeah. And I'm going to say something that we talked about a couple of different episodes. When we were talking about, when I had mentioned about Tony Alessandra and communicate to people in the pattern at which they would like to be communicated, whether they're a nurturer, they're a go-getter, they're a promoter, or they're an examiner. This goes for recognition as well. Not everyone likes to be recognized the same way. Ooh. Someone may want to be recognized personally and privately, as opposed to, get the microphone, everybody point your attention at so-and-so over here. We're going to give them, a minute and a half of cheers and applause because they did something great. That might embarrass them, actually. That might make them feel very, very uncomfortable. So I think we need to, if and where we're going to drive recognition for people, we need to also take a step and figure out what type of recognition is meaningful to them.
Whoa, that's really good.
If my wife would prefer that I write her a note versus show up with flowers, Preferably it's both, but let's be real. Sometimes people have one or the other, where they might want one or the other. They don't care about the other stuff. Well, let's honor that. Let's respect that. So whether it's your BNI members, it's employees that you work with, team members, people that work for you in your org chart, or even the people that are above you that you need to show honor and respect to in a position of leadership, but you want to recognize them, let's make an effort to recognize people in a form and fashion that they will appreciate.
Wow. And what does that tell people? That tells people that you've actually noticed them and you know what they like.
That's right.
Andy, you know what? Feel free to recognize me with Benjamins. Oh, wait.
That's right.
That's a totally different thing.
Yeah, that's right. No. Please send money.
No, right.
For some people, that matters. I mean, look, I'm going to pull, not a whole page. Let me pull the whole concept. You know the book by Gary Chapman, 5 Love Languages?
Oh, yeah.
This is it. This is it. Some people want to be recognized with words of affirmation. So the gift is recognition.
And the key thing here is how they want to be loved, how they want to be recognized. If for some reason, and I did it literally the first time I read 5 Love Languages, I would love people in the way that I like to be loved versus loving people in the way that and that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Getting to know how people want to be recognized and what that looks like. Yep. But that means that you've got to have a relationship there.
It does. And again, that's another core value, right? So we're talking about building relationships in the core value ladder. And then we're talking about the giver's gain. We're talking about positive attitude. We're talking about having accountability and all these things. But in the end, recognition where it does not exist needs to exist. So when we're kind of summarizing our conversation today, I would say, think about where is there a gap of recognition where that gap should be filled. So identify areas where there need to be recognition and there isn't. Then identify what needs to be recognized and how will that recognition be received by the person you're going to give it to.
Well, and what happens when you do that, obviously you're recognizing them, but it does something internally to them. Again, because you've gone that extra mile of knowing how to recognize them. That's
right. And I'm going to caution our BNI members. The caution, challenge.
There we go.
Accept recognition, please. Accept recognition. I think that we are fearful that if we accept recognition, that all of a sudden means we're not a giver's gain person anymore. And think of it like this. If we weren't talking about recognition and we had replaced this entire conversation with referrals, the word referral. Right? Ed, have a referral today for you. Oh, no. It's okay. I don't want a referral.
Ooh.
Like, oh, hey, Ed, I have recognition for you today. Oh, no. I don't want recognition today. I'll give you recognition. I want to give you a referral. Like, if I just said I want to give a referral all day, that's fine. But you replace that word, you see how different our attitude changes and our behavior changes?
Big time. I love that. I didn't even think about it that way.
If I'm not going to deny you trying to have a referral for me this week, I'm also should not deny you from having recognition for me this week. Am I going to tell someone after they give me a glowing testimonial in the chapter? Oh, yeah, thanks, but that's all a bunch of garbage. That's not... that would destroy the person trying to say something nice and kind that's going to help me in my business. So please, BNI members, accept recognition when it's being given to you. That is my challenge to you.
Whoa, that's a good one. So as we come up to our final moments, and I do this to you every time, Andy, that could be a good one. That could be an end of the podcast kind of challenge. But I'm going to challenge you one more time. What do you want to leave our audience now with on the topic of recognition, but then even going into our 7 core values? We've gone through giver's gain, building relationships, lifelong learning, traditions plus innovations, positive attitude, accountability, and now finally recognition. What do you want to leave our audience with, our listeners, through this series?
So part A, let's talk about recognition first, since we're on this topic this week. So part A, where you are denying recognition of things that people want to recognize you for, stop it. Let them recognize you. Allow yourself to be recognized and grow and mature for the things that they're recognizing you in. And for the areas of your life where you want to recognize somebody else, identify which things they would like to be recognized for, or which things you want to recognize them for, and then the way in which they would appreciate that recognition, and then go down that path. Part B, in a summary for this entire series for core values, I would say, if you're catching us on the 7th one, go all the way back to the first one and listen through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then for each of them, or in the accumulation of them all, I want you to assess the areas of your BNI membership where you have some room for improvement that will generate more value for you as a member. I want you to address each of those section by section or topic by topic, and then I want you to go and attack them. Do something about it that enhances your own personal membership. Thereby, the rising tide raises all ships. Your chapter's membership can grow and evolve from those two. And then that's going to enhance the visitor experience, which grows your chapter, which so on and so forth.
That's that thing. It's one big loop. It's one big circle loop. So to be able to go through them all, and I love how your challenge to people, look at the core values. What are the ones that you struggle with, and what are the ones you need help with, and how can you gain and become better at them?
Yep.
The reason we have core values is because it allows people outside of the organization, but also us within, to really understand who we are. It's what we fall back on. It's how we filter things. Our core values are incredibly important. And if you, our listener, don't have core values for you and your business, we encourage, both Andy and I encourage you to take the time to go through and figure out what your core values are. What do you stand for? What are those traditions, so to speak, that bring down the core values for you and your organization, or just the brand of you? Thank you for joining us through this series. Andy, as always, it's an absolute pleasure. I love getting to hang out with you. For 7 weeks, we got to hang out together, and I'm sure there's some more mini series we can do on the topic of BNI and then business in general.
There sure are.
Thank you, my friend, for joining us.
Thank you, Ed. I really appreciate you having me on for this series. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate your feedback and your comments as well. And really excited to come back with a new series with Ed and talk about more things that can help not only enhance your membership in BNI, but your general business growth altogether.
Thank you. And again, write to us, topics, questions, critiques, all of it. We want it all, because that's how we grow, at podcast with an S at the end, podcast at BNISD.com. We thank you all, and we appreciate you. And we'll see you back next week, not with Andy, but with somebody else on another topic. Andy, again, thank you. And for our listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this mini series on our BNI core values.
This episode of the BNI San Diego Podcast has been brought to you by Cruz Productions, a San Diego-based video production company and proud BNI member. You can find us at the intersection where business and creativity meet, or online at cruzproductionsinc.com.